Now, my question for the day, guys, we always start off with a question, and I think I'm gonna do a light one because it is Halloween. So, my question is such, guys. What are your plans for Halloween? It's Halloween. This is my favorite holiday, and I feel so incredibly lame, beyond belief, to report to you. I don't even have set plans today. Me and my fiance are talking about just going to check a movie, like just trying to see who's playing some horror flicks. We might go see the new Halloween. We're not sure, but that's pretty much it. I don't have a costume. I blame it on me being out of the country for most of October. I was out of the country for a while, so my time clock's all messed up. I'm playing catch up. I'm still catching up on things. I'm catching up on emails. I'm catching up on things with this show over at the Jimmy Dore Show, etc., etc. Yeah, I don't have any plans. And my fiance, of course, was in the same boat as me. She was out of the country, too, because we were together. And she is playing catch-up as well. So we're just hopefully we're going to... I mean, I live in an apartment. We don't really get any trick-or-treaters. At least I'm not expecting them. Last year at my house, I lived in a house. And my roommate, Pasta, who some of you guys know about, he was stoked for trick-or-treaters. And we got one group. And he actually had to ask them to come over. They were kind of looking like, can we go there? And we were like, yeah, we're open. And those kids really struck gold because Pasta had enough candy for like a full night of trick-or-treaters. And he was giving out the big bars too. He wasn't giving out the fun size. They were like the big old candy bars. And so those kids really struck gold because he was like, please just take as much as you want. And then there was Halloween candy in my house for the next 6 months, which I was thrilled about and not thrilled about at the same time, if you know what I mean. But, so I don't have anything cool going on tonight, and I'm embarrassed to report it. Let's see what you guys are doing. Hopefully, you got some cooler things going on. But I'm probably gonna go to, probably gonna go check a movie, and I don't have a costume, which is embarrassing. Last year, I was Daniel Johnston, which I thought was kind of fun. But I was Daniel Johnston, and my girlfriend at the time was Kurt Cobain. So we both had on the same T-shirt. We both had on the "Hi, how are you" T-shirt. That if you're familiar with Daniel Johnston, that's his T-shirt, and Kurt Cobain wore it on a few television appearances. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Stephanie, thank you so much for the Super Chat contribution. When the crypt goes creak and the tombstones quake, spooks come out for a swinging wake. Happy haunts materialize and begin to vocalize. Grim, grinning ghosts come out for News with Ron. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that very much. And Stephanie also reports that she got her candy ready for the kids, so I guess you get the trick-or-treaters. Mama Alaska, our kids, because it's so cold, trick-or-treat at the mall of the stores. That's awesome. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's so cold. Edwin, you gotta work. That sucks. Let's see. Myra is taking her kids to a nice suburban area. When I was a kid, we would kind of do that too. We would make sure we spent some time in the more wealthy neighborhoods because we were like, they're gonna give us the big candy bars. Typically, not all the time. But when I was a kid, we had a strategy down. Like, we had maps and shit. This was before Google Maps. You know, we didn't have... This was even before the internet in most cases. This was when I was, like, young. And this was back when you could let... I don't even know if you can let 9 and 10-year-old kids out by themselves anymore, trick-or-treat. I mean, I know the world we live in is just so... so crazy right now. I don't even know if that's still a thing. Like, I have no idea. If I had a kid, I'd have no clue what to do. Like, I'd have no... Like, if they were like, can I go to the park and play kickball? I'd be like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Is that still something... Like, when I was a kid, that was okay. Is that still okay? I have no fucking clue. Like, I don't know. Can I go trick-or-treating by myself? When's the right age? I don't know. I don't know what the right age is to trick-or-treat by yourself. I honestly have no clue. I think I was, like... maybe 9 or 10 when I was trick. I think. I I don't know what, and I remember there was this one guy who was the neighborhood. He liked to drink. I don't know. I can't say neighborhood drunk because I'm sure he wasn't the only person in my neighborhood wasn't that small. I'm sure there were other people drinking on Halloween. But he was the guy that we knew, always liked to tie on a few. So what we would do, me and my friends, because again, we had a strategy, we had frickin' maps, and his house was right near my buddy's house, which was usually where we started. So we would hit his house early, and we'd be like, hey, Mr. Such and Such. I'm not going to say his name, just on the slim chance. Hey, Mr. Such and Such, good to see ya. And he's like, happy Halloween, boys. And we'd be like, yeah. And then we knew that within the next 2 hours, Mr. Such and Such was going to get freaking hammered. So what we would do is we would go back to his house at the end of the evening, and he'd be like, didn't I see you boys before? And we'd be like, no, man, you haven't seen us before. And then my one buddy, Zach, he was like the really good with adults member of our crew, you know, like he was really good at talking to adults. He was interested in like news and politics like way before I was. Like he was paying attention come like 7th grade. And he still does. He's a very politically astute, intelligent guy. One of my best friends in the world to this day. But he was always really good at conversing with adults. So he would be like, so Mr. Such and Such, blah, 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 and just bring up some kind of topic. And while he was doing that, we would take all of Mr. Such and Such's remaining candy. Now, we did this at the end of the night, so it's not like we were robbing other trick-or-treaters. It was the end of the evening. The event was over. We just made sure we closed on Mr. Such and Such's house because we knew we were just going to take all the candy because he was drunk. And that was something we did. We had the map, and Mr. Such and Such's house was there at the beginning and there at the end. We knew what we were doing. So let me see what you guys are up to for Halloween. Then we'll get into some real news here. Ron, did you hear that in some states, towns, you cannot trick or treat 13 years of age or more? If you do, you could go to jail. I think that once you're 13, you are too old, personally. But jail, that's a little bit of a ridiculous... that's ridiculous. Plus, like, what if you have a younger sibling or something? Like, what if you're taking your younger sibling trick-or-treating? So there has to be some exceptions there. So let's see here. Jennifer, I'm dressing like a pirate and drinking with friends. I call Halloween off like it's a national holiday. Jennifer, you are right. I am wrong. You are putting me to shame. And thank you for doing it. Honestly, like that Jennifer, we all need to be like Jennifer, quite frankly. Halloween is amazing. It is by far my favorite holiday, and we should all be dressed up as something and celebrating right now. If you like to drink, you should be. You should be having some cider or whatever. If you like to smoke, you should. If you don't like to do that stuff, that's fine too. But, yeah. Good on you, Jennifer, and thank you for including Get Your News On with Ron on your celebratory day. All of our celebratory days, you're just making it count. The best. Moose Gal, Ron, congrats on your engagement. Thank you. Prybite says, trickle down, trick or treat. I see Ron dressed up as Ron for Halloween. I know. I'm lame. I should have worn a mask or something today. That's what I should have done. Let's see here. What else? Everyone watch The Devil and Daniel Johnson. If you don't know who Daniel Johnson is, Jordan says, that's good advice. Not a good Halloween movie, but good advice for the not Halloween day. I might see the new Halloween movie. Don't spoil it if you've seen it already. Let's see. Jordan's watching the Pistons, so watching some basketball. Stephanie's going to be Carmen Sandiego. That's always that's a great costume. That's always a great costume. Let's see. Matthew taking the kids out. You know, that's got to be... I don't have kids, but I'd imagine that if you have kids, Halloween is a good time to have them. Because then you get to really relive that joy through them. And that's got to be incredible. I think Halloween might be the one day a year I'm a little envious of my friends that have children. There's no other time. There's really no other time. Especially since you want to talk about terrifying. I would be terrified every day that those kids go to school. we've talked about this before. I'm not gonna go down it too much. But yeah, I think Halloween is the one time I'm slightly envious of my friends that have children, because I'm like, you get to take them trick or treating and relive that. That's so freaking awesome. Especially if you have like a baby. Like my cousins, their child is, I think she just turned 1, I'm pretty sure, or close to 1. So you can technically take her. But you know you're getting all that candy. And people know it too. But how can you say no? It's a baby dressed up as a pumpkin or a clown or whatever else. Whatever you dress it, the kid has no say in the matter. You can make, if I had a kid, I'd do something totally goofy and off the wall. I'd be like, my kid's a propane can or something ridiculous like that. And you still have to give them candy. That's awesome. Oh, man. That's people with newborns. It's the only time I'm envious of you. Halloween night. Because you're getting all that. All that. My kid's a propane can. Mom Alaska, my doctor, her birthday is today. She's awesome. She's not only born on Halloween, but she's a Wiccan. That's awesome. Cool. So what else are people up to? Oh, Elizabeth is trick-or-treating with her kiddo. He's going to be the red Power Ranger, and Mommy is going as the Pink Ranger. Aw, that's adorable. I didn't know the Power Rangers were still a thing. I know that they've had various incarnations of it. I know, like, I remember the original. I was a kid when the original happened, and that was a while ago. Long enough ago. We'll just leave it there. So, yeah. All right. And Frederick was watching the parade for the World Series championship, Red Sox. Congratulations to the Boston Red Sox. My fiance is from Massachusetts, so she was pretty happy about that too. Derek just watched The Reverend. That bear attack was grotesque. Good for Halloween. The Reverend. So there's a movie recommendation. The Reverend. All right.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your